Hello, this is Verlene Bennett with Hope for the Journey. The Shunning of Sin. I love to read Christian fiction. I thank the Lord for Christian authors who use their talents to write great stories that always point the reader to the character of God and the plan of salvation. I just finished a book by Beverly Lewis about an Amish community and the practice of shunning someone who does not follow the strict rules of the Amish order. This book caused me to think about this practice of shunning. I do not propose shunning people, but should we not shun sin? We have an adult super center in our community. I drive by it several times a day as I go to work. I've noticed a large increase in the number of cars there each time I pass. I mentioned to my husband that there were 7 cars there at 4 p.m. when I passed today. I heard a man on Christian radio speaking about these adult centers in our community and totally unopposed by churches or any other groups in the community. He discussed the negative impacts of these adult centers in our community, and yet they stand unopposed. My question now is, when did we stop shunning sin? When did we give it a new and acceptable name? When did we become so stagnant in our walk with the Lord that we are no longer burdened by sin? If we as Christians do not take a stand, who will? When did I begin to think that my responsibility is only to count cars and complain to my husband about an issue such as the adult supercenter? Not only do we not shun sin, we have come to find it humorous and invite it into our homes as entertainment. What situation comedy is not designed around a lifestyle that is sinful? What movie, book, or magazine does not glamorize sin? Lust, greed, covetousness, idolatry, sexual sins, adultery, divorce, alternative lifestyles, profanity, and murder are tickets to fame and wealth. We now give honor and prominence to people who flaunt their sins publicly. We certainly do not shun them. They have become our culture's heroes. The Bible is clear about sin. It gives strong warning about allowing sin in our hearts and lives. Perhaps the problem is our ability to discern sin among the bright lights of glamour and fame. What will come of our next generation of young people who have not been taught about sin and its consequences? When did we allow Charlie Sheen, Snooki, Paris Hilton, and Lindsay Lohan to become the role models of our youth? When did we allow them to come into our homes as invited guests with their sins glamorized? Take a look at the TV offerings that you have on your cable channel. A few top choices are jail, teen moms, divorce wars, hoarders, selling New York, bridezilla, intervention, girls gone wild, desperate housewives, Jersey Shores, American Greed, New York housewives, and that's just a short list. The Amish community would shun people for not following the rules of their church. Shouldn't we as Christians shun the sins that are so against God's laws? God paid a tremendous price for our sin. We minimize that price by allowing sin to creep into our hearts and lives with little or no response. The cross with the blood of Jesus was a high price to pay for the sin of man. I never want to minimize the price that was paid by giving sin a place in my heart. Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Galatians 5:1. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty which God has made us free, and do not be entangled again with the yoke of bondage.